We had a really solid quarter. In fact, demand is very strong. Almost $12 billion in revenue is our highest revenue in our history in the second quarter. In fact, in the month of June, we had 6 of the 10 busiest days in Delta's history. So while fuel prices are up and it's causing some short-term pressure on earnings, the long-term outlook is very strong, and more people than ever are flying Delta.
But my question is that do you think that one of the reasons that the stock is up is that you're really not lowering you're not lowering guidance for the year based on fuel prices, are you, Ed?
Well, we did.
You did lower your own internal
guidance for the year.
Okay.
For the internal, but relative to street consensus, we're largely in line. That's right.
Exactly. Okay, relative to street. So they already had that factored in. You had to come get your own numbers down to where they were at this point, but not below where they are.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So fuel prices are going to be $2 billion higher for us this year. That said, overall, year on year, our overall earnings should be largely consistent with where they were last year.
And as far as these other metrics that we see, the load, traffic, capacity, all these things were either in line or higher than you were expecting prior to the report or prior to the quarter?
Yes. Yeah, so our initial view on revenues for the year, Joe, was that we were going to be up 4% to 6%. Year to date through June, we're up close to 9%. So as I said, demand's strong, pricing is holding in, and loads are very, very high.
I mean, is that just as simple as the economy? The employment rate is so high, unemployment's low, consumer confidence is high. That's pretty big. I mean, 9% is a lot better than your forecast. That's pretty amazing. Why?
Yeah, in fact, 9% is the best I can recall. It's not just in the U.S. While the U.S. economy is doing well, international is actually going even stronger than domestic. So on our international, particularly in the transatlantic, we're seeing double-digit year-on-year improvements in revenue. The brand is healthy. I think we're going to outpace the industry in terms of total revenue production for the quarter, and the people at Delta are doing a great job. That's what's bringing the traffic in.
You know, Ed, the airlines have been a tough trade for this year, as you know. I mean, your stock is down about 10% this year. There's some fear among investors when all the airlines, not just you, are adding capacity to the system. You say demand is strong, so can you walk us through what the dynamic is within the industry for pricing when it comes to tickets for the consumer? When you have a greater capacity, demand is increased, but you've also got rising fuel.
Well, capacity for us is up about 3%. And pricing is up 4% on top of that. So that's what's leading to the strong revenue production we're yielding. We did indicate in the release that we're going to be lowering our second half total capacity somewhere between 50 to 100 basis points from what is out there for sale currently. But relative to expectations, I think we're doing well.
Why are you lowering capacity if your pricing is so strong still?
Well, capacity is not being lowered. Capacity is still up in the second half of the year, but it's going to be a little bit lower than was originally planned, largely because of the higher fuel prices.
Ed,
go ahead.
Just wondering, are you guys, what are you planning when it comes to employment, and are you finding any constraints out there when it comes to finding the workers you need for your business?
We're hiring a fair bit. This year, we're going to hire probably about 7,000 people into the business. We're getting a lot of qualified applicants. We're not having a challenge with that, but the economy is robust, and yeah, Delta, we are growing not just in the U.S. I mentioned earlier, internationally as well. So there's a need to join Delta. We're going to be hiring probably about 600 pilots this year and 2,000 flight attendants.
Ed, I'm worried about the bathroom size. I keep reading these articles that it's getting smaller. I don't understand.
It can't get smaller.
No, they can. And I'm
no, it's not possible.
But are you part of this, Ed? I mean, are you guys getting together and saying let's make these bathrooms smaller? And what you're going to get one more half of a person stuffed in somewhere if you make the bathrooms smaller? What's happening there?
Joe, we haven't changed our seat size in fact, we've actually grown the seat size a bit on the most recent 777 and the Airbus 350. But no, we haven't changed any of those dimensions in quite a number of years. We have a minimum pitch of 31 inches that we are religious about holding to. And the seat width on the new configured 777s and A350s, that we actually grew it. And it's the largest in the U.S. industry.
Ed, is that a DC-3 behind you right there?
That's one of our originals.
So tell us where you're going in terms of buying new airplanes and what's coming, what we can expect. I I am, by the way, a million miler. I'm platinum this year, maybe going to diamond.
Appreciate
Just
that.
want you to know
Thank
that.
you.
It's up to you, Ed, whether he goes to diamond.
I'd like some real. I'd like some better planes.
It's not a
What do you
pitch.
got coming, Ed?
Bigger bathroom.
Bigger bath.
We have a lot of new planes coming. We have the Airbus 350, which is the newest international plane that we continue to take deliveries, and 330s. The Airbus 321 is probably the aircraft you're going to see us grow the most. We have about 70 new aircraft coming into the fleet this year.
I mean, incredible safety record, FAA. But is there things that need? Yeah, I know. Are there things that need to? It's still improvements that need to be made in your view, and is that happening?
Well, there's always need for improvement. We're never complacent. Every single day we go out to try to make certain that we provide the safest, most reliable product in the sky. Certainly the thing that we've talked a lot about the last several years that needs attention is the air traffic control systems.
That system, right.
The ability for Congress to unlock the funding mechanism so that we can all invest more heavily on a longer-term basis in improving the efficiency of the air traffic control systems. But that said, our safety is second to none in the transportation industry in the world.
Yeah.
Ed, one last question here. In terms of the trade war, how do you think about the trade war with China when we start thinking about qualitative ways in which China might retaliate as opposed to just the tariffs they could place on goods? Is there a way in which you're concerned that perhaps your growth in China could be stunted or limited during this period of trade tension?
You know, it's early to speculate on that. We haven't seen any effect at all. As I mentioned, we've had the highest revenues in our history we posted this quarter. Our Chinese business is doing very well. We've invested actually in a Chinese airline, China Eastern, the Shanghai-based carrier we own 4% of, and traffic volumes year on year are up double digits. So we're not seeing any signs. Longer term, it'd be hard to know where that could go, but right now, all signs are that things are quite healthy.
All right. The one thing, Ed, you know, when anyone's delayed, not on Delta or whatever, they don't use maintenance or weather anymore. They just say air traffic control. I mean, there's something that happens that it's just a lot of planes, and you want to be safe, but it's very tough to do it on time. I just wonder whether we need to upgrade some things or what. I guess it's all about money, though, as it always is, right?
Well, it is about money. It is about Congress giving the FAA the authority to go make the long-term investments that are needed to improve the air traffic control systems, and it's also about governance. There's a lot of users in the sky, in addition to the commercial airlines, general aviation and other private interests. So there's a lot of stakeholders that need to be brought together to improve, but you know, the consumers are demanding it, and we need to make the change.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.